Wild animals live freely in their natural habitats, away from humans. They are strong, smart, beautiful, and extraordinary animals that us humans love to watch and learn about. We as humans are amazed by these animals. We tend to try to domesticate these undomesticated animals. Sometimes we are successful in this mission, but what happens when we aren't? And these powerful animals are threatened by us, and they act on their natural animal instincts. Well, let's find out. But first, please help support my channel by subscribing and hitting that notification bell for more content, if you haven't already. Now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and get into today's video, When Animals Attack. Travis the chimpanzee. Travis was raised and lived with Sandra Harold in Stamford, Connecticut. Sandra and her husband Jerome purchased Travis for $50,000 after he was taken from his mother. At this time, he was only 3 days old. Sandra and her husband treated Travis as if he was their own child. He lived in their home with them. They took him to the grocery store, and he would even go to work with Jerome. Travis ate at the dinner table. He knew how to use the keys to get into the house and into the car. He would help water the plants and feed the horses. He would dress himself, brush his teeth. He watched TV, and he knew how to log into the computer. He was very smart. Having grown up among people, Travis had been socialized to them since birth. A neighbor said he used to play around and wrestle with him, and that Travis always knew when to stop. In 2000, Sandra's and Jerome's only child passed away in a car accident. And then in 2004, Jerome had passed away from cancer. So after that, Sandra really depended on Travis for companionship. She would even start bathing and sleeping in the same bed as Travis. Travis was a well behaved chimp. He only had one situation, and it was in October 2003. Travis escaped from Sandra's car and held up traffic at a busy intersection. He was on the loose for several hours. The incident began after a pedestrian threw an empty soda bottle at the car, which went through a partially open window and struck Travis while they were stopped at a red light. Startled, he unbuckled his seatbelt and got out the car and chased the pedestrian. Now, this person ended up getting away. When police arrived, they lured Travis into the car several times, only for him to let himself out of another door and occasionally was chasing them around the car. After this, Sandra would start keeping him home and not bringing him out into the public. Then on February 16th, 2009, at around 3:40 p.m., Travis attacked and mauled Sandra's 55-year-old friend, Carla Nash, inflicting devastating injuries to her face and limbs. He had left the house with Sandra's car keys, and Carla came out to help get him back inside. Now, when she did this, she ended up grabbing a Tickle Me Elmo toy, which was one of his favorite toys, and he flew into a rage and attacked her. So earlier that day, Sandra had given him some tea that she laced with Xanax. Now, this might have actually caused him not to be in the right state of mind, and this might be why he attacked her friend. He was also on medications for Lyme disease. Sandra attempted to stop him by hitting him on the head with a shovel and stabbing him in the back with a butcher knife. Now, at this point, Sandra thought Carla was no longer alive, so she then rushed to her car and locked herself inside and called 911. Travis's screams can be heard in the background at the start of the tape as she pleads for police to come help.
Stand for 911. Where's your emergency?
Oh, this is Sandy. 241 Rockrimmon Road.
What's the
Send
problem?
the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
friend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. You shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please.
Okay.
hurry.
Emergency medical services waited for police before approaching the house. When they arrived, Travis headed towards the police car and tried to open a locked passenger door. And he also smashed a side view mirror. He then went around to the other side of the car, the driver's side, and he opened the door, at which point the police officer shot him 4 times with his service weapon. Travis then ran off to the house where he was found unalive next to his cage. Travis was 13 years old. The paramedic crew described Carla's injuries as horrendous. Within the following 72 hours, she underwent more than 7 hours of surgery on her face and hands by 4 different teams of surgeons. Paramedics noted that she had lost her eyes, nose, lips, mid-face bone structure, and 9 fingers. Doctors removed some of Travis's hair and teeth that were embedded in her bones and reattached her jaw, but announced on April 7th, 2009 that she would be blind for life. And on May 24th, 2010, 15 months after the attack, Sandra passed away suddenly at the age of 72. Her lawyer said that she passed from heartbreak. Teddy the bear. Teddy was a 350-pound black bear raised by the Watts family of Allington, Pennsylvania, since he was a cub. Michael Watts was an exotic pet dealer slash owner. He owned a lion, a cougar, a jaguar, tiger, black bear, leopard, and 2 servals. He kept Teddy in a 15 by 15 steel and concrete cage. His wife, Kelly Ann Waltz, would also help him out with his animals. Kelly would go to clean Teddy's cage out. Now, mind you, most cages have a separate area for the animals to go in while you clean their cage. But I guess the Watts family didn't have that for Teddy and thought of Teddy as more of a pet than a wild animal. Now, Kelly would throw some dog food to the corner of his cage, and while he ate, she would clean his cage. Then on October 5th, 2009, around 5 p.m., while Kelly was cleaning out Teddy's cage, Teddy decided to turn around and attack Kelly. Her kids saw what was happening and ran to get help. That's when her neighbor came out to help, and once Teddy saw him, he turned to attack the neighbor as well. That's when he shot and unalived Teddy. Unfortunately, Kelly did not survive the attack and passed away at the scene at the age of 37 years old. Timothy was an American bear enthusiast, environmentalist, documentary filmmaker, and founder of the bear protection organization Grizzly People. He lived among coastal brown bears in Alaska at the Katmai National Park for 13 summers. Timothy felt like he had created a bond with these bears based on him living with them for 13 summers. He said that he always was cautious, but he would also name all the bears. He would play with their cubs. He even would pet the adult bears that would allow him to. He felt like they had a mutual trust between each other. Now, Timothy also was known for taking his girlfriends to these camping trips with the bears over the summers as well. Timothy was also known for not using proper procedures while he was camping, such as putting barricades up around where he slept, and he would put his camping sites right in the middle of the bears' known trails. And in October 2003, Tim and his girlfriend Amy had set up their camping site right next to a salmon stream where hungry bears would come to eat. Now, mind you, October is no longer summer, it's fall, and it's the time when bears are known to eat the most because they're getting ready for winter. This is also the time food starts to get scarce for the bears and they start to become aggressive. Usually, Tim wouldn't even be out this long into the season. He usually only camped out during the summer months, but for some reason, he stayed longer this time. Quick side note, most of the bears that were comfortable with him and knew him had actually already left this area for the winter, and new bears that weren't familiar with Tim have moved into the area. On October 5th, 2003, Tim had called and scheduled an air taxi for the next day, October 6th, to pick him and Amy up. But when the air taxi arrived, no one was there and said all they saw was an abandoned campsite and a bear. So he had called it in to the local park rangers. The local park rangers went to check it out, and that's when they found the couple's mangled remains. Park rangers went to recover the remains when they ran into a large bear who was trying to protect his meal, which was Tim and Amy. That's when the rangers had to shoot and unalive the bear. An on site necropsy of the bear revealed human body parts such as fingers and limbs. There was another bear that same day that had to be unalived as well because it had tried to attack a park ranger. Now, they weren't able to perform a necropsy on that bear to see if maybe he had any parts to do with the attack on Tim and Amy, but that goes to show you how aggressive the bears were at that time. Now, this was the park's first and only incident of a bear unaliving a human. Animal Planet released a docuseries in 2008 on Tim's adventures and his passing, called The Grizzly Man Diaries. Sandra was known for having wolf dogs, which are wolves that have been bred with dogs. These animals are very dangerous and unpredictable, and they're actually more likely to attack you than wolves are. Sandra would breed these wolf dogs and sell them. She had a total of 9 wolf dogs in her backyard and had been doing this for about 10 years, but she didn't have a license to do so. And on July 17th, 2006, Sandra had plans to go meet her daughter for breakfast, but she didn't show. That's when her daughter went to the house to check on her, and that's when her daughter found that Sandra had been attacked by one, if not all, of her wolf dogs in her backyard. Officers tranquilized the animals before troopers shot and unalived them. Unfortunately, Sandra had passed from her injuries. It's speculated that she fell from being sick or she just tripped, and this showed the animals a sign of weakness and they attacked her in that moment. Tilcum, aka Tilly. Tilly was a captive male orca who spent most of his life at SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida. He was captured in Iceland in 1983 when he was just 2 years old. About a year later, he was transferred to Sealand of Pacific in Canada. He was then transferred in 1992 to SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida, where he fathered 21 calves throughout his life. Tilly was also the largest orca in captivity. While orca attacks on humans in the wild are rare and no fatal attacks have been recorded as of 2024, 4 humans have passed away due to interactions with captive orcas, and Tilly was involved in 3 of those incidents. Kelty Lee Brin was a 20-year-old Canadian student, animal trainer, and competitive swimmer, and she had been working with Tilly at Sealand of the Pacific in Canada. On February 20th, 1991, Kelty was working a shift when she slipped and fell into the orca pool. Tilly then grabbed her foot and swam off with her under the water. They were not able to rescue her, and her passing was ruled an accident. Daniel P. Dukes was a 27-year-old man from South Carolina, and he was the second person to pass away due to Tilly in 1999. The park said Daniel was a homeless man and had snuck into the park and climbed into Tilly's tank and drowned. But this had been questioned by many based on Daniel's body was mauled pretty badly. Dawn was Tilly's third victim. Dawn was an American animal trainer at SeaWorld. She worked with Tilly at SeaWorld Orlando for 15 years, including a leading role in revamping the Shamu show. She was also SeaWorld's poster girl. On February 24th, 2010, towards the end of the Dine with Shamu show, Dawn was rubbing Tilly's head as part of the post-show routine when Tilly grabbed her and pulled her into the water. Witnesses said that it looked like he either grabbed her by her ponytail or her arm, but no one was really sure. During the attack, he scalped her, then bit off her arm. It took them 45 minutes to get Tilly to release her. At that point, Dawn had already passed away at the age of 40 years old. Only a year later, Tilly was back performing. Mind you, new laws were put in place to make sure that this didn't happen again. Trainers weren't able to swim with the orcas, and they weren't even supposed to touch them anymore. On January 6, 2017, Tilly also passed away from a bacterial infection. So, do these stories make you think twice before coming in contact with a wild animal? Well, I hope they do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if there are any other cases of when animals attack that you would like me to cover, or if you would like a part 2, let me know down in the comment section. And thank you guys so much for watching When Animals Attack. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content. And I'll see you guys next time.